Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Rambo and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Rambo's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded in his right hand. That leaves your left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and release on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Rambo's going to come home with his very own training collar, and you're going to be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now, he is sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that they're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. The command is Rambo heel, and at that point, Rambo has a job to do. And that is to remain even with Fred's left leg when walking. And this is going to work great for you, whether you're in Manhattan or whether you're in Ithaca. And when he stops walking, Rambo's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. And the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the sit stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and it is a one-word command. You don't use his name. The long sit stay, when you're practicing with him at home, and you can practice indoors as well as outdoors, is for 1 minute, and you're going to work all the way up to 3 minutes, adding about 5 to 10 seconds a day. When Fred returns back to him, he walks all the way around him. This is an additional distraction. Ends up right back where they started, and then the puppy expects to get another command, and they take off heeling again. And heeling is one of the skills that so many, even adult dogs, lack, and you see them pulling out to the end of the leash, and their owners have no control over them. And this way, he's in focus with you. He's performing for you. He's not being a nudge or a nuisance in the neighborhood. Fred leaves him in another sit-stay, walks to the end of the leash to face him, and this time, instead of returning back to him, Fred is going to do the come on command. It's Rambo come, and he comes right in front and sits, facing your knees, and you see him looking up at Fred, very in tune to what they're doing. And that eye contact is exactly what you want to get with him when you're working with him at home. You want him looking at you, paying attention. And this is what obedience training is all about. Fred leaves him in another sit-stay. And because he's had some extra training, he's actually just responding to hand commands. This time Fred will call him again. He's very anxious to come, and he sits beautifully in front of Fred, and then they go back to heel position again, and everything starts and stops at that heel position. And he's doing a great job. He's paying attention. Now this time, the exercise that we're going to demonstrate is the down. So with him seated at your left, this is a down from heel position. You take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give him a down and a stay. Now typically dogs will hold a down stay longer than a sit stay because they're comfortable. So we're going to start this one out when you go home at about 2 minutes, and you're going to work all the way up to 5 minutes. When Fred returns back to him on this command, he walks all the way around him, and he should have stayed down, so Fred repeats it and makes him do it the way it was taught, because he went to sit up, all the way back to heel, and then he can get up. Good boy. He's so cute. Now, we've tried very hard here to get him to react negatively or to be possession aggressive, but we have not seen it. We can take food bowls away. We haven't had a problem with him, so I don't know what the problem was. And that's your down from heel again. But with us, he's been cheerful, happy, smart little guy. This time Fred will call him out of that down. Comes right in front and sits beautiful. and then he goes back to heel. And see, this kind of working with him in obedience stimulates his brain, gives his brain activity, and forms a bond with you and the dog of owner and companion, instead of him thinking he's the boss. Now this time Fred leaves him in a sit-stay. He's going to walk out to face him. This time Fred is using his right hand to give the command, and that is your down from a distance. Now we have demonstrated for you all of the on-leash obedience commands that he's learned here at school. We're going to have a packet of printed information for you, scheduling and all of that. Amanda or Rich, whoever brings him home, will be going over all of that with you. We've enjoyed having Rambo. We want to thank you for using Nora's Dog Training Company.